Yo, boys, we got PF, Petrified Fish. And I was excited. I was going to do this because this came in before the Beluga did. So I was going to do a video on this because this is a David Chen design. And this is very light, easy carry, great little knife, right? So I will talk about that at another time. But this one came in. This is a Nashorn Knives design. I'll give you a link to his site. And I believe he's Russian designer. And really, this is a great design. And you can look at the other designs he's done as well. But this is really a cool knife. When I saw they came out with this, I just had to have it. And I got mine. I thought I ordered this off of Amazon. And then I went back just recently and I couldn't see them listed on Amazon. White Mountain Knives is still yet to get their order. Things are backed up in Los Angeles at the port because of all this pandemic crap. So that's still coming, supposedly. It has supposed to have been there weeks ago, but whatever. So you should be able to buy these at White Mountain Knives in the not too distant future and use LTK discount code for 10% off. You can also order them off of Amazon and or at their knife store, which I'll give you the link to underneath here. So I ordered one from their knife store on AliExpress as well, and it has not arrived yet, but this has arrived, and it took long enough. And my buddy Gabe on Instagram, Mr. Roboto, he got his too. He got it in a black G10. You can get it in a green G10. He likes it. I haven't heard from anybody who doesn't like it. Check it out. Deep carry pocket clip. Okay. Screws embedded in the scales. Contoured G10. Left hand carry as well. Lanyard is here, so there's no hole through here for the lanyard. You can do it right there. Back spacers cut away to accommodate that. It's a sturdy dog, and it's a front flipper, but it's not, this tab is not way out here. And I'm happy that it's not. I don't need it out there. Actually, I don't need it to be a front flipper. This is great. I mean, I'm fine with just being able to get it by this fuller and put it out that way. And, middle finger flicking is great. So it's good that way. Finally got it out. Okay, so it's got kind of a medium D10 on it. It's not too strong, not too light. And that's good because if you're going to use it as a front flipper, you don't want an overly strong D10. If you want a middle finger flick it, you don't want an overly strong D10. And that's a lot of blade kicking out there. That's 3.6 inches of blade and 8 1/4 overall. The same length as the Spyderco Para 2. But it just looks more massive, doesn't it? Oh my God, it's just insane. All the way around. It's thicker. Now, blade stock probably not thicker, but the handles are. And you know what? I just had to get it. I like the design, and for $46, I just thought it was a whale of a deal. A whale of a deal. And liner lock, 35% lock up. That's pretty strong. Liners, they're visual there. They're right there. They're not nested inside the scales or anything. And I like that. So I like the setup of this knife. I mean, they asked me, well, we sold out in 15 days. We're gonna go back into production on them. Is there anything you'd like to change? And I said, yeah, this is way too small. I need this to be 10 inches overall length. I'm just kidding you. I didn't tell them that. Although, hey, I'd do that. But I'm sure somebody will be out there wanting a 3-inch version. They'll want micarta as opposed to G10. Maybe I would recommend, instead of D2 and K110, which are both a semi-stainless, to go with a full stainless like 14C28N, Bowler N690, something that, you know, even 9CR18, something like that, AUS10, that's a full stainless. That might be good for those who live in a more moist environment. And now I live in a more moist environment, let me tell you that. So, and I've messed up my blade somehow. It looks like a bead blast type of, type of finish on here. That fuller's nice because it keeps the blade from being too boring. And that's a big, tall, flat grind, isn't it? So it should be good for slicing. And you know, without that flipper tab, you got full contact on here. I mean, you could really use this knife for a lot of different projects. And okay, and come on, get off of there, give me a round here. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sharp as far as, you know, kind of factory sharpening. What do we got under here? We doing another knife sale here? But, yeah, I like the action on it. And the detent, yeah, it is just right. And I like these contoured scales. And the thing is, yeah, it weighs like 5.5 ounces. So it's not a lightweight. It's not a gent carry type knife. 157.2 grams. Now let's go units around 2 ounces. 5.55 ounces. Where this one, the PF 858, it's 2.97 ounces. So much lighter. Big difference here. Big difference. Now, this is the 858. This is the PF P01, okay? But wow, I really like it. Let me see how wide it really is on the handle. I don't think it's that bad. It's 15 millimeters. 0.59, yeah. Well, come on. 0.58 at 14.8 millimeters. Yeah, but 0.58 still pretty sturdy, isn't it? Yeah, it's more, I thought it was more like 0.53. 3.6 millimeter at 0.14 for blade stock. So blade stock's about the same as the paramilitary too, but this is way thicker than this. This is 0.46, and this is a lot thicker, yeah. So I'm surprised it's almost 0.6 of an inch thick, but it fills the hand, and it's because also it's fairly tall all along here, which, you know, yeah, about 1.2. A lot of them are, with the blade folded and everything, are maybe 1.25 inch. But this one, yeah, it's about 30 millimeters, a 1.17. And then when you got the blade folded in there, it's not a whole lot more because that blade kind of tucks in there, 1.43. So the PM2 is 1.6 at the height. Yeah, 1.6 at the height. So not as much real estate this way as the PM2, but that PM2 hits a hump and then folds up. This is nice. It tucks right in here. Blade to handle length is good. Design flow is great. Obviously, you're doing this for a reason. Other than that, yeah. I don't know. It may have been a consideration to exit the flipper up here, the front flipper, and put a thumb stud somewhere up here, or maybe, you know, like a thumb ramp that you got a little threaded thing that goes down here, and so it's like a disc. That could be real handy there for flicking. So that was, And then you could clean up this part here completely off and just have a thumb disc stuck up here. So, I mean, that might be a thought too if I was going to consider it. So what do you think? I really like it. The ergos are easy because this is really just a simple design. I mean, just draw, a stretched out rectangle, right? I mean, and they're, just a very standard blade shape. But with this fuller, it kind of gives it a little bit of oomph. And I just think it should be really useful. At 5.5 ounces, it's not that heavy, but it's definitely not like the 858 or the 858, which is right at 3 ounces. So there's a stark difference there. But this is a Beluga, damn it. It's made to be big and mean. And what's in the box? What is in the box? Well, there was a knife in the box till I took it out. Oh, and there's the plastic it came in. Oh, and here's this stuff. Washers. So Gabe was wondering, when he got his, he was saying, I wonder if this is, and we're going to take it apart, by the way. I wonder if this is like an alternative to bearings if you wanted to put washers on it instead. I don't know. I'll look inside. When we take it apart, we'll know whether that's viable on this knife. And then there's some black hardware here. So, if you wanted to, you get the black G10 one, or you just like black hardware, you can put these screws in there. So that's nice. And it's nice to at least have extras. And then you get a microfiber cloth. So for the $46, and I know that's a hell of a lot of money for some people just laugh. They just dismiss everything that's not a $500 knife. I don't. I like these budget knives are more fun for me than anything. I mean, I think the value for the dollar is incredible. And, people just think they fall apart. Well, I mean, my Ganzo FH51, I've had that for, 2.5 years or 2 years at least, and used it on a regular basis. I've never had a problem with it. It's funny how some people, they get a knife and you can put them in a padded cell and their knife would just explode into pieces according to what they tell you. And you go, what are you doing? I mean, what are you really doing, with your knife? Yeah, I've had good luck with all my budget knives, and these petrified fish, that's nice. Who knows? I mean, really, if you think about it, could you put titanium and M390 and have a damn good looking knife? Yeah. And maybe a button lock option would be nice. Maybe PF, maybe I ought to ask them, maybe you ought to think about putting out one with a button lock and either G10 or micarta. I mean, not necessarily this design, but, down the road somewhere. But this one would be fun with a button lock, wouldn't it? You could take this off. So, I mean, another thought there. I'm just full of ideas today. And the box, doesn't that look like a Tucson box? That looks like a Tucson box to me. Tucson knives, in case you've ever seen one. And also, I think the same people are making the Y-Star box. I don't know. But they're colorful. Every once in a while, they include a lanyard or some other stuff in there. So it's funky. It's interesting. But they're knives to me. When I feel them and run my hands over them, that kind of thing, to me, I can't tell the difference between this and a Civivi or a Bestech or a, Kaiser for their Vanguard series or CJRB or you name it. I mean, I think these are as solid and nice as any of them, and depending on the model, better than many of them. So we're all good there. And here's my balance on the knife. That's easy to find. The pass-through is easy, and you can disengage. Even though it's you can put the pocket clip right or left hand side. This is still favors the right hand operation. And you gotta, kind of pick your area where you want it to drop. If you choke up on this too close, it's not over the detent. So you gotta back up, but you don't have much of a flipper tab to hit you in the thumb. But you got some, okay? So get in the middle of the choil and you'll be okay, right? So, and the drop is nice. I mean, check it out. I mean, it damn near just follows you around. That's nice. And it's got a thunk to it. Because she's beefy. She is beefy. 3.6, will you say? Take 94 millimeters. And virtually 8 1/4, let's say, 8 3/8 at a full 21 centimeters. I mean, it's just like a 1/16 longer maybe than the PM2, but the blade on the PM2 is just a skosh under 3.5, and this is over. So you're really getting more blade, and you're getting a hell of a lot more cutting area on the blade, aren't you? Because you got to account for all this. I mean, really cutting area. Check out the PM2. Not that I have a problem with PM2s, except that I buy too many of them. But I mean, you got maybe 3 1/4 total cutting edge, and this one, what do you got? Yeah, about 3.6, don't you? A lot more cutting area, real tall flat grind, should do great. So I'll be happy when White Mountain Knives gets their order in. The problem is it'll disappear so fast, and then the way shipping is going these days, it could be another 2 to 3 months before they can get another load of them. So, but I'm going to be looking forward to that, because there's a lot of guys, they don't want to go to AliExpress and put their credit card in some Chinese site. And or you get it on Amazon, it still might ship from China, so you're still going to be waiting maybe 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 2, maybe 4, you don't know. But you get it from a US dealer, it'll be there in 2 days, maybe 3, and that's about it. Well, let's get my tools out, and I don't think they're listening to me about number 8s, are they? They still got number 6 on the body screws. But, I mean, this hardware seems nice. Seems nicely machined. Pretty smooth to unscrew that. Let me see if these are number 6s. Yeah, they are. So let's take this out. But at least that unscrewed, even though there's no way to get into that. There's no way to get into it from the front because you got their logo in the front. Oh, crap. Okay. Let's get this out. It was starting to back this one out from the other side. So obviously there's something passing through here. And I'm going to be passing it. Okay. So we've got the pocket clip that we can flip if we want to, pop these screws out and go the other side. What else have we got? Oh, I see. Yeah, there was. That's why this was starting to unscrew from this side and come out. Always happens. D-shaped pivot. Looks like a ceramic detent ball. And let's see if we can pull this liner off, because I don't see much that's holding it on there. No screws into the liner. come off of there. There you go. And yeah, okay. Yeah, there's that standoff deal. Oh, and oh, this is for the lanyard. This is the standoff, or whatever it is that came through the through here. Okay, thank you so much. Now, pull this out, and we've got ceramic bearings. Come on. And a blade stop. And the bearing rings are pretty decent. I don't know how you're going to, since they machined an area here, how you're going to be able to put the washers to substitute these washers. Well, you might be able to, because if you stack one on top of the other, and depending on where you want to put the synthetic, right? So you want to put the synthetic next to the blade. I think I'd put the bronze next to the blade, but I don't know that it matters. Okay, so you can probably do that. There you go. So you could, that fits into that machined area. You could just dump the bearings and put washers in here. So, okay. Not that I would prefer to do that, but that's an option for you guys that want a knife where you don't have to worry about getting stuff in the bearings. And let's see if we can push this out. Come on. Okay, thank you. And let's see if we can get this out now. We've got the pivot, and it's a D-shaped pivot, and that's going to center the logo and do all that good stuff. And come on. Your time is up, buddy. Time to get out. Okay, thank you. And there's a D shape here, so that accommodates through here. All right, not much to this, actually. I mean, you've got your scale on the far side. There's for the log bar. There's where your pocket clip is. I'm going to push this thing through here. Get in there and sit down. Okay, now, I'll probably fall out now. Here's this liner. And you know what? Since we're doing this, let's come through from the front, because that's really what we should be doing. That's a tight fit right there. Ooh, that's tight. But it's there. And of course you don't need a steel washer because you've got a steel liner. And we got a stop for the blade that goes right there. And then put some go-go juice on this. And put the blade on. And you can see where this, blade travels and hitting the stop one way and the other. Bearings. If we can get them to sit down. Okay. Sit down. And then we can just slap this puppy right on top, and it should, just clicks right on down. We don't have any inside liner screws to deal with, so we can just set that down. And then we can get our number 8 out here. What's great is a number 8. That's right. And then line up our number 6 screws. Oh, we just dumped one of the pocket screws out, didn't we? Came out while I wasn't looking. Sure enough. Oh, hold on. And there we go. We're anchored. The little guy's got to go on the other side here. because those are meant to be for the pocket clip. This is a little longer screw, by the way, so, but this is the body screw, the only one that we took off, because there was only one and then the pocket clip, so. See what I'm saying? And it's centered right up. And let me see how she drops. Just about the same as she did before. Let's check for blade plate, nothing there. There's no lock rock, by the way. You know, that's just fine. I'm good with that. I don't think I need to hoss down on that pivot any more than that. I'm good. All right, it's good. It's good to go. The Beluga. And you know what? I wanted to get this in the books because this is going to get blue. It's going to turn blue or purple, one or the other. I was thinking of sapphire blue. A little lighter than that. But, I mean, that's not a navy, so, yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Yeah, I think we got to do that. Stick it in the dye pot. These scales won't be a big deal, and we can take that backspacer off, put them all in there, cook them up, make it the right color. I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel, and you can keep up with the petrified fish journey that we're on. And we do love them knives, so you guys stay sharp.